On the play here with his Infect strategy, something that he has done very well with himself on the Open Series. He'll start off with a breeding pool. We got Noble Hierarch, and our semifinals are underway. Looks like both players have kept 7 cards.
Just funny, you know, we've been talking around a lot about Merfolk's matchups. A lot of them have felt positive, and we said the other deck is slower, and the other deck struggles to interact. And Hunter is kind of in the opposite side of that right now, where his deck is the one that's slower and struggles to interact, although Dismember is a good starting point.
We'll also play another copy of Noble Hierarch past that turn back. Nance will take a draw step. He's already at 16.
Though it is an open question here if Hunter is supposed to fight over Noble Hierarch ever. He's only got so many Dismembers to go around, and maybe those just need to be saved to handle Infect creatures.
He's got some vials now. So it's a bit of a slower start. He wanted to interact first with the Dismember. Now he's got vials. The boss is going to search up the Dryad Arbor. Don't know if he's going manual this game or not.
A little early for that.
Oh, Hunter's already at 16. just saying.
A little early for that. Stand by my previous statements. I mean, he might get in his licks if he wants to, but I would be shocked if Tom kept a hand without an Infect creature in this kind of matchup because it's just so fast.
Tom does have another copy of Noble Hierarch, also an Inkmoth Nexus in hand.
Tom does have to respect Spreading Seas here.
Looks like the Dryad Arbor is going to come in for 3. Nance already down to 13. Vials are up to 1 here for Hunter. He'll take a draw step. Now, this is one of the times where the mana appears to be an issue for Hunter. This is a very blue-sensitive deck. And Mutavault's, of course, great, and you're going to play Mutavault as many copies as you really get your hands on. But he's got a little bit of an issue here with double blue.
This is not the third turn that Hunter is looking for.
No, 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 no.
Now, if he can survive this turn and get the vial up to 2, then Harbinger of Tides becomes a very powerful card. He gets access to it instant speed, can break up an attacker no matter what the size. This presupposes Hunter gets 1 more turn, which, as we know from having watched Tom a lot, is no guarantee even from 0 Infect.
Well, Tom is moving much too quickly at this point.
He knows the only thing he really has to play around in this spot is Curse Catcher.
Yeah. I would not feel great. Ah, yes, the Inkmoth Nexus will be attacking now.
See that thumb and the middle finger?
Well, let's just shuffle up for the next one. What do you say? You ready to move on?
Almost.
I'm ready to move on. He's just casting Might of Old Corrosion for funsies. That's what's happening.
Yep. You know, get you about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Ah, there's a Become Immense.
So I guess 2 Curse Catchers here is good.
Oh my, he does actually have 2?
Okay.
Okay. A little fighting him. I am surprised. It's still an attack for a lot.
That's the first time someone has survived the thumb and the middle finger tap from Tom.
So Hunter took 1, 2, 3, 4. He took 7 Infect there. So he's still dead on the next attack. Oh, a Spreading Seas comes off the top.
Oh,
wow. The plot is thickening. Hunter Nance has some fight left in him.
Some big turns
and
here.
He's got 2 Harbinger Tides in his hand?
Yeah, it looked like he was going to have to play with defense with Harbinger of Tides here for a while, but instead, he's got the Stabilize for now.
Here comes Dryad Arbor. It's a 3/3. Nance will take the regular damage. There's a breeding pool past the turn back. Harbinger's going to bounce that. Rarely do we see Tom Ross fire up the Inkmoth Nexus, fire off the pump spells, and not get the W.
It had to be 2 Curse Catchers. You know, Hunter is playing the full 4, I believe, but that's still asking a lot.
Yeah.
And even then, he gets Hunter to 7 with 2 Exalted triggers in play. So Hunter still has to answer the Nexus the next turn.
Yep.
Draw Spreading Seas, and it's flipped just like that.
And now this is a pretty healthy attack. Ross is down to 8. And there's not a ton it appears that he can do. Wow, you can actually see the frustration.
It was a spot where Hunter needed 2 very specific cards and then still needed help.
He needed 3 specific cards, double Curse Catcher and Spreading Seas.
Yeah, Harbinger of Tides would have bought him a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But he needed, eventually he would need to get 2 Spreading Seas or Dismember to be able to stop this.
Tom is going to attack with Noble Hierarch. It's a 2-power creature.
Are we just going to do it the other way?
He's going to start with Vines. My goodness. Hey, oh my.
Wow.
Hunter Nance is going to win game number 1 here over Tom Ross. Double Curse Catcher, peels the Spreading Seas, 2 Harbingers. That's a W.
And the last card in Tom's hand was Become Immense.
Yep.
He had to kill manual style, even after all that, if it wasn't for another copy of Harbinger of Tides. But Hunter had every piece of the puzzle and steals game 1.
And steals is, I think, the best way to put that, because he was on the draw that game, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge upset there for Hunter.
Unbelievable. We take a look at the sideboards now. That is a shocking result in the first game given Tom's start. And we take a look at the boards. We'll see a Carry and Call, Dismember, 2 Dispels, 3 Nature's Claims, 3 Twisted Images, a Viridian Corruptor, Necropede, Piracy Charm, Relic Progenitus, and a Spellskite.
So, big fan of bringing in the copies of Twisted Image in this matchup. You're going to be playing against Spellskite on the other side of the table. I think that you could bring in the copies of Nature's Claims. As you mentioned, a lot of artifacts and enchantments floating around in Hunter's deck. And I think the 1 copy of Piracy Charm is another reasonable pump spell. An Island Walk can be powerful for Tom in certain spots if he's playing, trying to win the game with Glistener Elf.
On the other side of things, we got a Dismember, 2 Dispels, a Hibernation, 2 Relic Progenitus, a Spell Pierce, 3 Spell Skites, 3 Tidebinder Mages, and 2 Unified Wills.
A lot of good stuff here. Tidebinder Mage, Spellskite, Hibernation, Dispel, and Dismember all seem very, very good for the matchup. I don't know how much counter spells he wants to bring in here, but it's possible the Spell Pierce comes in as well.
We take a look at the Season 4 schedule here on the Open Series now before game number 2 is underway. We got our invitational next weekend for Season 3. We'll punch 2 more tickets to the Players' Championship, and then Season 4 starts up with more Modern action in Cincy.
Yeah, for you Modern fans, we're just going to be taking 1 event off in New Jersey, and then we head to Cincinnati. Worcester for a Standard Open. Milwaukee has a Standard Open. We head to Indianapolis for a Standard Open. After that, we go to Atlanta. St. Louis for a Legacy Open Series event, Modern in Dallas, back in Philadelphia for a Standard Open. After that, we have a Seal Grand Prix in Atlanta. More information about that event as we get a little bit closer. A Standard Open Series event in KC, Legacy in New Jersey, Standard Open Series in Denver. Then the Season 4 Invitational, Standard and Modern as the Invitational formats, and a 2-day $20,000 Standard Open Series event in Las Vegas, Nevada, December 11th through 13th. And then a week later, the Players' Championship in Roanoke, Virginia, held at the Star City Games headquarters, December 19th and 20th to close out the year.
For all the main events during Season 4, we have our new parody playmat. It is the Hoppin' Rabbit Master, a play on Goblin Rabble Master. You see the carrot beatdowns, and apparently there's even a carrot bomb in there that I did not realize the first time I saw. Again, this will be available to everyone who does play in the main event. We're going to use that F word one more time.
You know what we call a hidden piece of imagery in an art piece that someone gets to discover?
I don't.
It's an Easter egg. It's an Easter egg. It's a joke because there's rabbits on the playmat. You get it?
Is it?
Free. Any Open Series event you enter in Season 4, doesn't matter. When you signed up, not limited to the first X people, don't mail it to you after the fact. Get it when you sign up. Any Open Series event till December the 5th.
I can't do this anymore. I can't, not with that.
It's an Easter egg,
I can't.
which is a joke because they're rabbits.
I'm putting the headset away. I can't do this.
It didn't seem like you got the joke because you didn't laugh. So now we're here where I have to explain it to you. That's why it's funny.
It's on me because I didn't laugh. This is on.
Right.
This falls on me.
I thought there could be some confusion.
Oh, okay. This falls
That's
on
what
me.
that's what it felt like to me.
I see. I see. Well, Tom Ross will be on the play here for game number 2, but we're going to learn a little more about Hunter Nance right now, who's a player, certainly the lesser known of the two. Tom Ross's accomplishments, well, they are many. For Hunter, he's looking to make a name for himself on the Open Series. He's number 12 in the Season 3 leaderboard right now. He's only got 2 Open Series top 8s. This is his 3rd one, mostly getting his job done with obs on aggro and standard, but he is a computer science major at NC State, loves a cat, and he loves a video game as well, as do most of our players here on the Open Series. And apparently loves Merfolk, too.
Yes, and has been dominant front to back in this tournament with this deck.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in first place for most of day 2, had some stumbles there towards the back end, had to win the last couple of rounds, but had been playing very, very well with this deck and just stole that game from Tom Ross.
And he's had the same plan the entire time, which is dismember your Mana Accelerant if I can. And now Tom's hand is mega awkward.
Yeah, he kept a hand there. If the Noble Hierarch survives, he can cast Blight Age on turn 2. Instead, he's just looking at a Pendelhaven.
He drew a forest for the turn.
That doesn't unlock anything here. I mean, he needs blue mana to cast anything in his hand. You see Twisted Image, 2 Blight Age, and 2 Apostle's Blessing. This hand doesn't do anything.
You know what's really awkward about Tom's hand? I mean, he has no blue mana. I bet he's hoping he gets Spreading Seed,
Yeah.
which is a crazy thing to think about.
Hunter's not going to help, though. I mean, obviously, that's what's going on with Tom's hand. If your opponent's not casting spells, as a good rule, don't change what their lands do. If you're going to line up their colors with spells you know they have.
I'd probably leave him. Yep, I just keep deploying creatures and kill them as fast as I possibly can, and that's exactly what Hunter's doing. There's a Master of the Pearl Trident, more beatdowns, an Aether Vial post-combat, pass the turn back. Ross better draw that blue source right now, or this one is over. There's a Misty Rainforest, but if he draws the blue source, no blocks allowed.
He doesn't have an island in the deck, so if he gets a breeding pool and puts it to play untapped, he's dead. Hunter paid off for that very aggressive use of Dismember.
Again.
Question in the matchup, but given the way that Tom's hand lined up here, it was perfect.
Now, we saw him do it last match too, where against Logan Mize, he just said fire away, kill your mana accelerants. If your lands line up appropriately, good for you. Nance going to very quickly untap. Vial will get a counter. He'll take a draw step here. I think he's on his way to the finals, folks. Tom's hand has not cooperated. Nance certainly, boy, it feels like he stole that last game. His cards lined up beautifully to beat Tom. Ross will sacrifice. I think he's got to go the Dryad Arbor route now. It's almost like he has no choice.
I mean, he can't get a breeding pool.
Yeah.
Then he's just dead.
Yep. Now, these fishies out there, they're 3 power. Lord of Atlantis, Master of the Pearl Trident, they're 3 power creatures. Silvergill Adept, that's a 4 power creature. Tom is at 10. It's funny, a lot of the focus on the Open Series is typically on Tom Ross. His accomplishments, like going back-to-back in the Invitationals last year, so many. But he has been outdone in this match by Hunter Nance. He's going to try to claw his way back into it with an Apostle's Blessing, but I don't know if that's going to be able to help him.
Yeah, Pendelhaven still does not put him in a position to trade with anything.
Mm-hmm. I think Nance even has a Spell Pierce here. He's going to kind of consult his hand, make sure he doesn't make some sort of error, which is certainly for the best. There's a Spell Pierce on Apostle's Blessing.
Because what's the worst case scenario with the Spell Pierce here is it either counters it or Tom has something like pay 2 and cast Mutagenic Growth, and then he's still attacking for lethal. Yep. So it's a very safe Spell Pierce.
There's a Spell Skite as the follow-up. Tom gets to draw 1 more card for this tournament. This one is over. There's an Inkmoth Nexus. Hunter Nance going to win this match over Tom Ross, 2-0. Merfolk is moving on, I think, over a pretty difficult matchup, and one hell of a player in Tom Ross. But the cards lined up beautifully for Hunter Nance, and now he moves on to the finals.
Yeah, game 1, Hunter had every piece of the puzzle and needed every last piece of it, including, I think, the second vial. And that game, you know, Tom kept a hand that I think is a solid keep, even if Hunter has a turn 2 Tidebinder Mage, you at least still get to put 1 Blighted Agent into play. But Hunter had a Dismember, and Tom did not draw blue mana in time.
Congratulations to Hunter Nance. He's now gone through Logan Mize and Tom Ross. He's got 1 more opponent to get through to be our champion here in Charlotte.